Gandang gabi po sa lahat. This is Coach Linin who empowering Pinoys, especially the 40s and above to rebuild their health by gaining muscle. So tayo po ay nagbabalik ngayon sa programa natin every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pag-uusapan natin yung stress. Alam niyo ba when it comes to fitness and health in general, stress is very crucial. And that's why you might ask, Coach Nins, yung stress ba, it can affect my health, my fitness gains. Sabi nila may tinatawag na fitness gains. No, of course, yung opposite is fitness loss. And that's why it's very important to know yung mga causes. That's why yung topic natin is stress ka din ba? Kasi of course, no one is exempted. Everyone can have the seasons of ups and downs. Agree ka din ba? Ano yung number one na nagbibigay sa iyo ng stress? Pakilagay dyan sa comment section so that we can have this discussion. What's the number one thing that gives you stress? So these are the 5 reasons, yung mga deep why. And these reasons are not that often discussed. That's why very important that we have this platform, no, para ma-discuss natin yung root cause. Kasi we can never change the fruit if we don't change the roots. So let's go deeper dun sa roots natin. Hello sa mga live natin na mga viewers. As always, present yan, investing in their knowledge dito sa live natin. Hello to you, Ma'am Rufina Diaz. Good evening to you as well. Ma'am Lina Dalida. Good evening. Ma'am Virginia Gaarin. At saka we have here Mary Valencia and others, no? If you are now working out, let me know. How's your workout? Or maybe where are you tuning from so we can acknowledge you dito sa live natin. Of course, si Ma'am F. Franz in Daya. And we have here Coach Rizali Ventura. First time dito ni Sinija. No, kamusta yung experience? Hopefully I can give some value to you, no? Of course, we have here Ma'am Luni Solina. There you have it. So, again, others, you might think no stress. Yung stress, if it is not being dealt with, if hindi po siya nadideal, it is being piled up. Napapiled lang po siya. And ano mangyayari po kapag napapile? Kagaya ng pressure cooker, merong tension sa loob, merong pressure sa loob. At saka of course, give it time, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes. Give it one day. Hindi po yun maganda. Sasabog po yun. That's why we have to deal with stress in the root so that it won't hinder your fitness gains. Hello to you, Ma'am MJ Faiz, watching from Israel. Yan, no? Kamusta ang weather natin dyan? Espina Reyes, kamusta po tayo, ma'am? We have here, Ma'am Lynn Fuentes. Kamusta po tayo, ma'am? Kamusta yung ebook pala, ma'am? If you have your Gmail na, let me know. Hopefully, I can assist you with that. Ma'am Gemma, watching from Iloilo ba o kanami, no? Ilongga. Kamusta ang weather dyan sa Iloilo, ma'am? Ma'am Ching Vicente, one of our amazing fitness enthusiasts. Nagwo-workout yan. Modern adult. Of course, ma'am. Yes, yeah. Let me know po, ma'am. By the way, you might wonder, no, sa Gmail na sinabi ni Ma'am Lynn, we're talking about yung ebooks. So for others, if you want the work guide plus the nutrition guide, I will discuss more about it later. But let's dive in muna sa topic natin, stress. So, I remember during my pinaka-madilim na season ng life ko when I was a year after I graduated from college. So, ang kinuha ko pong kurso is education. I'm a teacher, guro. So, ang ginawa ko, I was looking for a job. Tapos medyo stress ako. Kasi alam niyo yung feeling na yung future is not clear. Hindi mo alam if you're into teaching talaga or maybe you're meant to a different path. So sobrang labo talaga nangyari sa akin. So lipat-lipat, I applied to almost more than 20 na mga schools, no? Almost none yung nag-accept sa akin. So that was really miserable. So with that, very stressed ako. During that time, nag-workout din ako. So, ano yung nangyari sa workout ko? Of course, I lack motivation. Yung day ko was kumbaga, drain thinking about my future. So na-experience mo din ba yan? That you're so stressed, you don't know what to do. So that's very true. Kasi when you are stressed, yung nasa loob po natin was being messed up, sabi nila. So that's number one. We'll talk about hormonal changes. Yung number one hormone that is being released. What hormone is that? We call it cortisol. So yung cortisol, the other word for it is yung stress hormone. So alam niyo ba ano mangyayari kapag yung cortisol level natin nag-spike? It will delay at saka interfere yung body's ability mo to regulate blood sugar, metabolism, at saka immune function. Tatlo, those things are very, very important. And that's why you might feel, no, every time you are stressed, yung sa others, I remember when we had yung tinatawag na vaccine, 2021, July, hindi ko yun makakalimutan. Meron akong tita, nakasama ko dun sa vaccine din, no. So, anong nangyari doon, because she was stressed sa init, tapos stressed din siya kasi marami din siya napapanood about vaccine na may mga side effects na ganito at saka ganito. So, yun sa kanya, she was thinking about it hard. Tapos, yung blood pressure niya, tumaas. So, nag-check doon sa, of course, diba, merong checking before you had the vaccine. So, nangyari, of course, hindi siya binakunahan kasi sobrang taas ng blood pressure niya. And that's true. When you are stressed, your hormones are being disrupted. And alam nyo rin ba na when your cortisol levels are being elevated, of course, it's triggered when you are stressed, thinking about many, many things. You're thinking about your bills. You're thinking about the upcoming due date. Alam mo si Judith, di ba? Si due date. So that's an often reason, one of the main reasons why we are stressed, no? Yung due date. And of course, kapag elevated yung cortisol level natin, it may lead to increased abdominal fat. So abdominal fat, no, yun yung dito sa belly natin. This is the part where fat is being stored. So most of the time when we eat a lot, no, dito po siya nasa store talaga. And by default, yung katawan natin wants to store fat. Kasi in times of famine, kapag wala ka ng kinakain, meron siyang kukunin. So by default, your body doesn't like to be starving. By default, your body wants to store fat. And that's why when you are stressed, yung abdominal fat natin, yung belly fat natin will be disrupted. And that's why it will, okay, shoot. Tapos if mataas yung body fat natin, bababa yung muscle mass natin. We don't want that. As much as possible, we want na yung muscle mass natin mataas at saka yung body fat natin mababa. Hormonal changes. So we want to in a way neutralize yung cortisol level natin. Again, cortisol level is not totally bad. Healthy levels lang po. When you go for a gym, workout po kayo, go for a run, yung cortisol level nyo po nagsaspike din siya. Pero hindi po siya prolong. Tama? 45 minutes lang siya or 1 hour. When you go over that, of course, hindi na siya healthy. That's why there's good and healthy time frame for workout. Okay, so hormonal changes, that's number one. Number two, this is an often issue sa mga adults natin at saka seniors, impaired recovery. Alam nyo ba, when you are stressed, it can disrupt the quality of your rest at saka recovery. Meron kayong experience na grabe yung bitterness mo sa maybe sa coworker mo or maybe sa ex mo or maybe sa friend mo na kahit natutulog ka, iniisip mo pa rin yung nangyari. So you're very, very stressed. Or maybe hindi ka makatulog dahil sa utang ng friend mo sa iyo na ang yung friend na to hindi talaga nakaka-remember ng utang sa iyo. So you're very, very stressed. And that can also ruin your quality of sleep. Kahit uh, natutulog ka, you're always thinking about these things. So, poor sleep, of course, would lead to low energy levels. Tapos, if yung energy levels mo mababa, yung mood mo affected, yung concentration mo affected. And, of course, if your concentration is low, it's very hard to engage in physical activities. Have you experienced na you're very stressed after your work maybe, tapos wala ka ng motivation to work out? I've experienced that a lot of times. And that's why if you want to make sure na yung recovery mo is in a way optimal, you want to take good care of your stress levels. Okay? Impaired recovery. You don't want that. That's number two. Number three, I talk about this kanina, no? Reduce motivation. Reduce motivation. Alam niyo ba, if when you are very, very stressed, it can lead to decreased motivation. You don't have that kind of excitement anymore. And of course, when you are not excited with what you're doing, especially when you work out, no, others they see workout boring kasi parang paulit-ulit lang yung routine nila, parang boring. So much difficult siya. And that's why you want to make sure na yung stress level mo, of course, moderate lang siya. Now, you might feel no na for others the reason why you cannot work out because you lack discipline. I won't uh, buy into that idea. Kasi the more you tell yourself na tamad ka, the more you tell yourself na you lack discipline, most likely it will become your reality. Ano tawag po doon? Negative self-talk. If you always tell those negative things to you, it will become your reality. If you tell yourself na tamad ka, most likely, yung reality mo, magiging tamad ka talaga. So, I won't encourage you to do those things. So, what you will do is to know the root. Kasi not all the time na the reason you cannot work out is because you lack discipline. Maybe the reason why you cannot work out because you're very stressed. And guess what? Yung workout po can actually help you combat and cope with stress. So if you are stressed right now, and of course, we have the tendency to be stressed, no one is exempted. The best way to deal with it, based from my experience, at saka sa experience sa mga students ko, is to work out. Kasi workout can help you increase yung happy hormones natin. We have the serotonin, endorphin, which is the happy hormone. The feeling that you get no every time you accomplish something hard, 'di ba? Sobrang refreshing. That's the hormone that we get, endorphin, the happy hormone. So if you want to feel good, you have to earn it. Grabe no? Yung world is very fair kasi you cannot buy this, no? If regardless how rich you are, you cannot purchase a fit and healthy body. You have to invest. You have to place time, effort, and even your finances for you to be healthy. If you work out, your body will reward you. If you take good care of your body will take good care of you. And that's why we feel that sense of uh, purpose at saka achievement every time we accomplish something good. The same thing din po yan when you, meron akong student, nagta-trike siya, this Holy Week, nag-trike siya sa Mount Pulag. So, if na-experience mo na yung Mount Pulag, di ba, hindi siya madali. It would take you hours, tapos you have to combat with the pressure on top, ilang thousands of meters yan above, no? On top, of course, you have to combat, then deal with the weather, very maginaw daw sa taas. And after she went on top, she had this feeling of satisfaction. The same thing din po yan with workout. There's sense of satisfaction after you accomplish a good workout. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the feeling of motivation. Go for workout first and motivation will come after. That's number three. Number four is this, and I can agree with this 100%. I believe na most of the reason why people are unhealthy, people are overweight, obese, or maybe on the other extreme, skinny, at saka underweight, people would say it's all about nutrition and health. I do agree with that. But actually, the root is really stress. Kasi when you are stressed, di ba, yung stress will mess up with your hormones. Like yung ghrelin is the hunger hormone. That's why we feel yung cravings natin beyond our control every time we're stressed, no? And that's why it will lead to stress eating. I have many clients and students who cannot stop themselves from eating at saka indulging yung mga bawal sa kanila. And I would ask them ano nangyari that day or maybe a day before that, most of them would tell me na it's because they are stressed. Some of them would confess it, won't confess, at saka, will not be that honest to confess. Pero I can trace na most of them, almost all of them, stress. That's why hindi nila makontrol yung cravings nila. And that's very true. Stress eating. Meron tayong tinatawag na stress eating. And stress actually, scientifically, can lead to binge eating. And that's why, no, meron tayong tinatawag na ang feeling na very stressed ka, tapos we might feel na the best way to reward ourselves is to eat junk food, or for others go for a buffet, although buffet is not bad. From time to time nag-buffet din ako, pero most of the time bench overeating siya, especially if you do it every other day, no? So emotional eating po tinatawag doon. So this one is beyond your control, kasi minsan your brain won't tell you na if you are stressed, no, nabusog ka. Your brain won't tell you nabusog ka, kasi yung leptin hormone mo, which is the satisfaction hormone, bababa po siya. And that's why many of us have a hard time stopping ourselves eating a lot, because, of course, the root is stress. So if you want to deal with this, make sure you manage our stress correctly. That's number four: emotional eating and unhealthy coping mechanisms. And last but not the least, of course, stress can increase injury, the risk of injury. Have you noticed if you're stressed, yung focus mo nag-iiba, you're thinking a lot of things, and of course, if you are doing this, it may lead to injury, especially if you're working out, no? If you're stressed, minsan, I have a student na parating stress, nakakalimutan na magsuot ng sapatos. That's my protocol, no? Every time I have my coaching, sapatos very important for protection. So nakakalimutan na because she is very swamped dun sa deadlines niya sa work niya. And of course, no, if you are stressed, it can weaken your immune system. It can weaken your immune system. Take a look, yung mga days na very sluggish ka, yung wala kang energy, are the days that you're very stressed. Connected po lahat iyon. So if you want to make sure your immune system is very strong, make sure your stress is on the normal levels. Now, yung cells po natin, and this one I get this from Dr. Caroline Leaf. She's a brain expert. Sabi niya po dun sa book niya na Who Switched Off My Brain. Yung cells natin may receptors. When I say receptors, parang may ano siya, nagre-receive siya, parang may opening siya, kumbaga. So, when your cells daw listen to you. So, for example, when you are stressed, your cells, which are trillions in our body, will receive that. Okay? Will receive the stress signals. And of course, by response, anong mangyayari? Either they will be weakened, or maybe they will send danger signals. That's why we have the cortisol level, and which is elevated every time you are stressed. So again, you want to take good care of your body, and the best way to deal with it is, of course, to decrease your stress. So we'll talk about best tips, no? These are the best tips that I have seen so far when it comes to dealing with stress. Number one is walking under the sun. Walking under the sun. So you have to do this maybe in the morning before 7 a.m. para hindi gano'n kasakit yung sikat ng araw. Go for a 15-minute walk outside. It can definitely help you. It can definitely, absolutely help you with your stress levels. Go for a walk, not running, but walking lang. Relax na pace. Number one. Number two, you may want to go for workout. Kasi workout, again, workout is different from walking. Yung workout po helps you deal with depression and emotional stress, kasi you are training your mind to be disciplined. You are training your mind to be disciplined. One of the I believe one of the major reasons there are many people who are stressed right now kasi our lifestyle nag-iba from uh, work and lifestyle na very laborious 50 years from now. Of course, most of the people are in the farm at saka sa factory. You move forward to today, most of us are working in front of our computer, very sedentary. Our bodies are made to move. That's why we have sweat glands, we have joints, we have bones. Our skin is elastic and we can stand and defy gravity because we are meant talaga to move. So if you go against yung nature mo, ano mangyari? You will feel low, you will feel bad. So you have to really work out so that your body will be forced to move. That's number two. Number three, I would suggest go for nutrient dense meals. Maybe for some of us, what we feel is just a crush of what we have taken. Maybe you have drunk a lot of coffee or maybe a lot of carbs. Kasi every time you eat a lot of carbs or maybe a lot of coffee, soda man yan, nagsa-spike siya. So, very energetic ka. So, once nag-spike siya, mabilis yung pag-spike, mabilis din yung pag-crash. Once nag-crash siya, yun po yung feeling natin na very low, very down. So, you may want to deal with that. Also, you have to look at your alcohol consumption. Alcohol consumption can spike your dopamine levels. And that's why for others na mahilig mag-drink every weekend. You're so energetic every weekend, but every Monday morning, mental crash. So you lack motivation. Most of you who have experienced this, no, I've experienced it as well. Nagka-crash yung headache, dizziness. So that's also associated with emotional health. And last, no, I would suggest if you are if you want to take this seriously, you have to make sure that you're surrounded with positive environment. Now, I believe yung news is important, but you don't need to dive into the specifics. Again, news sell because they are negative news. Our brain tends to listen to negative news more than the positive news. That's why every time you read the headline, uh, if negative siya, you want to dive deeper sa headline at saka sa news. And when you look at the news cycle right now, almost 90% po yan bad news. Kasi that's how news station create income. Kasi the more there are bad news, the more people will watch at saka read their articles. Tama? So again, news is good, but don't dive into the specifics. Maybe you want to check the headline lang and you're good. And maybe if you find yourself struggling talaga on this area, no, watching too much, consuming too much news, and you assess yourself, nafe-feel mo talaga na yung mental health mo affected, I suggest you take a break muna. You go for internet fasting or news fasting. Kasi 'di ba may fasting tayo sa food? You can apply that one as well with your social media or maybe watching news. Kasi you're messing up with your up and down na emotional state. So take note of that, and of course, if your our brain talaga is being bombarded, no, every day of negative news. Every day po 'yan. Even though if you don't watch news, marami talaga negative news. So you think, is it enough? Is it time for us naman to listen to positive news? Kasi we have been programmed to listen to bad news all the time, no? I think it's the high time, it's the right time for us to immerse our mind to positive news. So you may want to listen to a podcast, or maybe one of the most helpful thing that helped me a lot combat stress is reading my Bible. So in the Bible, you can have the truth that will set you free. So for you, I do agree. We are going through something in life, no, from season to season, and it's not good for us to think about those problems kasi thinking of those problems won't solve it. So I do believe that when you have the spiritual realm, It can help you deal with it kasi I believe personally na yung problem natin can only be solved if there's someone bigger than our problem. So I believe on a savior that can help me go through those things. So those things are the practical tips. But again, I want to encourage you be surrounded by a group. That's why we have this podcast. We have the group, local fitness for 40s and above. That's a very helpful group para you will be surrounded with positive people. And of course, be let yourself be accountable then. So if you are stressed and then it really bothers you, share it with a trusted friend so that merong support, 'di ba? Yung sa walis tingting, alam niyo yung walis tingting. 'Di ba? Yung walis tingting kapag isa lang yung walis tingting pwede madali lang siya masira, okay, mabali, tama? But if they're surrounded with hundreds bundle of walis tingting, hindi mo siya masisira. The same thing with support group. That's why we have this live, we have our group. So again, I like to encourage you one day at a time. One day at a time. And again, I will share this one, no? Share ko lang mga stories na I experience coaching with my students. I believe my personal na observation. Most of the number one reason why people are having a lot of health issues is all because of stress. Let me give an example. When I have a student na yung uh, cough niya more than 2 weeks. Tapos hindi siya makatulog. Tapos very cold siya at night. So nangyari, nag-research siya sa internet. So doon sa internet, ang sabi may TB based on that assessment na meron siya. So because of that, nagpa-check siya. Negative siya sa TB. But before siya napa-check, she was very stressed. Kasi nga, doon nakita niya sa internet na based on those symptoms, meron siyang TB. No. So, I have experienced that one as well. Kapag meron kang ganito, you would see this kind of ng irritation and something na may problem ka dito, I would research sa internet in the past, tapos I would compare yung mga symptoms, tapos you would see na parang may sobrang lala na siya talaga. 'Di ba? You have experienced that. So, it will lead to series of stress din talaga. And the reason I said that, because if we are thinking about these things all the time, most likely it won't solve the problem. So if you are constantly asking the internet, very wide po yung internet, in some instances it can help us, yes. Pero most of the time, if we are not careful with the information, with the abundance of information, it will lead to confusion. Tama? So you have to filter those things lang. So I do believe that stress is very important. That's why we have this topic. And once you deal with it, you have the peace that surpasses all understanding. I get that from the Bible. So I like to encourage you. The number one weapon and defense that we can have is through the word. And I learned that when I read my scripture. So that's my challenge to you. Have it in the morning so that your mind is at peace. There you have it. Hello sa mga live guests natin. Hopefully, this topic has helped you. If you find this topic na helpful to you, you may want to share this one and others, no? If wala ka pa dito sa natin sa page ko, I like to encourage you to follow my page, Coach Linin Hu, so that you will be notified every time we have our live discussion. I like to highlight one of my students, si Ma'am Jen. If you're watching, Ma'am Jen, Generous Bohokan, if you're watching, no, I like to highlight this transformation that you have. Itong pinost ko this week lang, meron siyang before siya nag-start ng low carb journey niya, yung tuhod niya was very problematic. Nag-inflame po yung tuhod niya. That's why she cannot have long walks. Kasi of course, of the upper body na weight, it of course gives stress sa tuhod niya. And that's why after she applied the right information, tingnan nyo yung transformation niya from this to this. So, generous bohokan, congratulations po sa inyo for stepping up. Only possible because of your dedication. All right. And of course, this is my page helping 40s and above to rebuild their health by gaining muscles. If you're not following this, I'd like to encourage you. And if you are ready to build muscles on low carb, I'd like to encourage you to purchase this one. We have workout plan plus video guide. This one is 399 only. And we also have nutrition plan, meal guides, eating out guides, at saka recipe. This one is 399. But if you want to avail both, you can have both at 499 only. So if you want to avail this, message nyo po ako sa page ko so that I can give you the ebook. This is my page, Coach Lininhu. If you want to avail this ebook promo that we have, no. Okay. All is well. I like to greet all our wonderful viewers dito. Hello to you, Ma'am Crispina Reyes. Kamusta po tayo, Ma'am? Kamusta yung meals natin, Ma'am Marjorie Torres? Good evening to you, Ma'am Jessica Lanyas. Good evening. Good evening, Coach Nin. Thanks na join din ako sa live. Ma'am Beng De Los Santos, kamusta po tayo, Ma'am? Of course, we have here Rosemary watching from Bacolod to Taiwan. Alam, grabe. Yung travel ni ma'am. Diyan ka na po for sure, ma'am, sa Taiwan for work, no? So, kamusta po yung weather natin dyan? Yung mga ah, masipag, bagong bayani natin ng mga OFW. Hello to you, ma'am Meriam Datuon. Gamayang gabi sa iyo, ma'am. Rizalito Arandia, watching from Cabuyao, Laguna. Kamusta po tayo, sir? Of course, ma'am Teresa Di Pamailo. Kamusta po tayo, ma'am? Tita Vanji, kamusta from watching from Bacolod, yung amazing mommy ni Coach Daniel. Gandang evening sa iyo, ma'am Jamaica Guibao. Sir Mario, of course, we have here Luni Solina. Yes po, coach. Kakaisip na utang ng kaibigan. Yung sa stress yung kanina, no? Ma'am Ligaya, good evening to you, of course. Jenny D, watching from Davao. Of course, sabi dito ni Ma'am Lynn, ho. Tama po yan, coach. Ang experience ko yan, nakakabawas ng stress ang workout. Mas hindi mo feel mag-workout, mas dapat kang workout. Yes. Perlita Bautista, watching from San Jose City, Nueva Ecija. Rofina Jess, of course, bonding with family. Yes, that's good. Notcha Ismael, good evening to you, ma'am. Of course, Ma'am Rich, hello to you, ma'am. Liza Clotario, good evening to you, ma'am. Ma'am Blessy, sabi ni Ma'am Blessy dito, yes, coach, parang yo-yo na yung low carb ko dahil minsan sa stress eating. Inaamin ko na side effect pero di ko talaga makontrol. Yes, that's why, ma'am, we have to deal with the root muna. Ma'am Lucy, yes, coach, isa sa cause ng stress ko talaga kahit tama kinakain ko. Yes. Yes, good evening to Ma'am Vivian. Yes, Ma'am Lina, I'm into that. Ma'am Hilda Bunda. Yes, yes. Sweet and good evening to Ma'am Sweet Tooth Doy Doy. Okay. Ah, sabi dito ni Ma'am Mayet, Sir, housekeeping po ang job ko. Need po ba mag-workout? So, ma'am, if your work na description, housekeeping, so very active po yan, for sure. Now, you would see, ma'am, na if you really want to pursue fitness, you really have to lift weights. So, kapag sobrang active na yung work mo, I will encourage you, ma'am, to go for 3 times a week na workout. Kasi this will help you gain muscles and to be fit. Tapos, ma'am, taasan nyo lang yung ano nyo, yung pagkain nyo so that you can sustain this lifestyle. No? Kasi very active na po yung work nyo. Merna Semana, good evening to you, ma'am. Watching from Saudi. We have here Edita Medina. I hope wala pa tayo na miss sa greetings natin tonight. Again, I'd like to encourage you with this lifestyle that you have to make it as a style of life, lifestyle. So even though there will be days na na-miss mong workout, that's okay. Forgive yourself. Tapos move on. Forgive yourself, tapos move on. Get back on track quickly lang. This is not a sprint. Yung health po natin na journey is not a sprint. Hindi po ito pa una-una. It's a marathon. So, the last shall be the first and the first shall be the last. Tama? So, you have to embrace the process talaga. All the best po sa ating lahat. God bless you. Happy lifting po. And see you again sa live natin on Thursday, 7 p.m. God bless you. Bye-bye.